Why is the administration flying thousands of migrants from the border to Florida and New York in the middle of the night?
Well, I'm not sure that it's in the middle of the night, but let me tell you what's happening here. It is our
4:29 a.m.
Well,
very early in the morning.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Wake Up America, Wake Up. So, what if I told you that the United States was secretly being invaded? That this invasion was not only sponsored by the leftist Democratic Party, but the Biden administration as well? What would you think? Would you think that I was crazy for bringing this information to you? Or would you actually research, listen to the news, go to your local airports when they're closed with a camera and find out for yourself? On this edition, I discuss and I provide evidence of a secret covert operation being conducted by the Biden administration under your very noses with your tax dollars. What do you have to say about that? Folks, so this is what I have. I have video from the San Antonio, Texas airport where journalist Ali Bradley had filmed 65 single male adults being transported on an ICE bus to the airport to be shipped off to Chicago, of all places. Now, this has also happened in Brownsville, Texas, but the footage that Miss Bradley provides should be very insightful, and I need you to see this because this is happening on a daily basis, but you, the public, you, the tax-paying public, are not being told, and you're not even being told that your money is being used to ship illegal, undocumented aliens to different parts of the states. So not only is this a southern border crisis, it is now a national border crisis because all states are affected by this action by the Biden administration and the Democratic Party. What do you have to say about that as well? Here's the video.
Make sure you can see me because this is big. 65 single adult men right before your eyes being released at the San Antonio airport. This is an ICE bus. I have it on good authority. I have a source from ICE. This is an ICE release. We saw yesterday in Brownsville, very similar situation. Right now, you're seeing all single adult men get off of this bus at the San Antonio airport. This is happening, per my source, every day.
Now, what you should find outrageous is the fact that the Biden administration had contracted a company to use buses, planes, any means of transportation to take illegal, undocumented aliens to be shipped to different parts of the states in the dark of night. As a matter of fact, the New York Post, if you look right here, reported on Biden's secret flights. The outrage that you should be feeling is that the public trust has been, I don't know what else to say, but we've been deceived. We've been lied to by not only the Biden administration, but the leftist Democratic Party. So what's happening is, instead of the deportation of illegal aliens that are crossing the southern borders along Arizona, Texas, and even Canada, these illegal undocumented aliens are not being deported. They're actually being imported. And the worst part of it is that there are more culprits involved in this action and this activity, other than the Biden administration, other than the Democratic Party. We also have Catholic and Jewish charities that receive funding from the government. That's your tax dollars to fund this activity, to import illegal aliens, house them, provide them medical support. And, or let me not leave this out, the United Nations is also involved because these illegal undocumented aliens are receiving debit cards on your tax dollar. They're receiving money. So this incentive by the Biden administration to have open border policies is basically allowing this large influx, this massive invasion of illegal undocumented aliens into the United States of America. Your country, our country, is being invaded. And the Biden administration is lying to us, taking our money and using it to sponsor and fund this invasion. And you have to ask yourself why. Why is this happening? And why aren't we doing something? Why aren't we holding the federal government, the Biden administration, the Democrats accountable for this activity? Someone please educate me, because I have no idea why we're not being told, why it's happening in the dark of night, and why we're being deceived. We're being betrayed, America. We are being betrayed. That's why I always tell you, you have to wake up, because this is happening under your very noses.
I get the whole secrecy and all this shit, but this is even above my thing. You know why? Because if it gets out, the government's betraying the American people.
Betraying the American people. Shocking footage reveals a DHS contractor working that airplane, venting his frustrations as the Biden administration relocates plane loads of illegal migrants in the dead of night after airports are closed. Those flights arriving after the curfew, which is a breach of security protocols.
So I had mentioned that the impact of this Biden open borders policy, what it would have on this country. Well, here's something in particular you should know. And Oscar Rosales, who had been on the run since approximately 1996 for a murder that he committed in El Salvador, came into the country illegally. He murdered Corporal Charles Galloway of Harris County in Texas. Now, he was recently captured for this murder in Mexico. He was actually in an adjacent town in the Mexico-U.S. border.
Meanwhile, ICE is confirming that Jose Rosales, who is accused of killing Harris County, Texas Corporal Charles Galloway, is in the country illegally when he murdered that officer. The professional criminal has been on the run since 1996.
Now, he defiantly tells the U.S. court judge that he's fearful of his life, that he's not going to get a fair trial. He even mockingly says that all the law enforcement personnel that were in attendance, they can kill him right there.
The security guy, that's fine. He want like trying to kill me right here. He can do it, whatever. I don't care.
Which is not a bad thought. But this type of murder, these types of incidents that are occurring in the United States as a result of the Biden administration's open borders policy needs to really be looked at, needs to be understood. This is a real impact. And the fact that he's shipping illegal, undocumented aliens to different parts of the states should raise a red flag, should make you consider arming yourself to protect your property, your family, and friends from this type of invasion that's happening. But hey, what do I know, right? I didn't vote this president into office. I'm not the one that's making these policies that are affecting the nation. I'm not a supporter of President Joe Biden at all. But those of you that are, those of you that put him into office, you should be looking yourselves in the mirror and blame yourselves for the national disasters that we're seeing in this country. Inflation, a withdrawal from Afghanistan that basically humiliated us as a powerhouse that we supposedly are. The border crisis, which is now national crisis, the crime spree that is taking place in democratically run states. Thank you, Joe Biden supporters. I'm calling you guys out because of this stupid hatred that you had for former President Donald Trump. You've put our country in jeopardy. That's right. Take the blame. I'm blaming you guys. And it is animals like this that the policies of the Biden administration have unleashed onto the population. And yet the Biden administration thinks there's no problem. Yes, American citizens don't need to arm themselves, don't need to protect themselves. Well, when I woke up this morning, this was the United States of America, not a socialist nation where we have a constitution, where we have laws. So folks, protect yourselves because it's only going to get worse. Because under this administration, it's a free-for-all to allow anybody that has, hey, listen to this, that has an ID that is in the form of an arrest warrant from a different country. That's acceptable. If you don't believe me, watch this video.
Congressman Gooden joins us now to react. I couldn't do that, but they can?
That's right. It's totally crazy. They actually put that in writing to my office this week. The TSA did, because we asked them. We'd heard these stories about illegals with no ID walking through airport security, boarding flights, potential severe criminals flying with the American public. And TSA confirmed that all they need is an arrest warrant to get past security.
So on the second part of this discussion, I'm going to present to you short videos, conversations that some of the Democrats on the left, in particular Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, which I can't stand her. Anyway, their reality, okay? They're proposing that we, the people of the United States, don't give a damn about immigrants. We sure do. That's why we have an immigration policy. But she calls it, or rather she calls it, a crisis of imperialism.
National conversation, which is not a conversation about immigration, is driven by people who could not care less about immigrants. Often people want to say, why aren't you talking about the border crisis? Or why aren't you talking about it in this way? Well, we're talking about it. They just don't like how we're talking about it because it's not a border crisis. It's an imperialism crisis.
I don't know where she got her education from, but folks, again, wake up, America, wake up. Because we're running out of time. We're running out of time before this government, this Biden administration, exerts its totalitarianism, authoritarianism, and socialistic ideologies onto us. And if you're okay with being on your knees and saying, sir, can I have some more?
Please, sir, I want some more.
I'm not willing to join you. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that are not willing to join you in bowing down to a tyrannical government that the Biden supporters voted in to the presidency. No way.